So this is what we're making, a nice spiral bracelet that's forged, and forged just means it's hammered. We're going to make a simple forged spiral, double spiral bracelet. You could make an armband later on with this knowledge, but since we don't know exactly how much metal this is going to take, I'm going to start with a 450 mil long piece of wire. This is 2 millimeter. I expect you'd like something a little heavier. But saying that, when we forge it, it's going to put tension in it, so it'll be plenty good. It'll hold its shape. Now, since we don't know exactly how much metal we're going to need for the spiral, what I'll do is I'll mark this off in 100 millimeter increments. I'm just using a steel ruler. Just to see how much metal this is going to take. We could just do the math if we knew the size of the spirals, because the diameter of each spiral multiplied by 3.14 will give you the length. Pretty basic math, but this is also basic. So what we're going to do is file a gentle taper on this end. Number 2 cut flat hand file, just brace it at an angle on your bench peg. File at about a 45-degree angle. Now just touch the end, and we're going to take our sanding stick with 400 grade paper, just tidy that end up a little bit. Now I'll use your flat round pliers for this, because we're going to want to make a tight spiral in the end. So we're going to grab it fairly close to the end. Get up here where I can show you. So about here, because any closer than that, that'll just snap off the end, and it'll make a funny mark on the end. So we want to stay just in a little bit, and the round bit of the pliers always goes on the inside. So just a nice spiral, and I usually just keep the pliers, like that, at one spot, and just form my spiral. You just look at the end. It's fairly easy to keep these spaces equal. Now there's my 100 mil mark. So that's good. So I'm happy with that size spiral. Now this will be easy to figure out the length of this bracelet, because we want a 150 mil long piece for the cuff part of the bracelet. So we can just measure. The bench plate is 150 mil long. That's what I do. Find out things so that you can measure things by them without always having to go to a ruler. So I know that's 150, so I'll mark that, and we know that this spiral takes 100 mil, so I'll just add another mil and then add another 100 mil here, and then I'll cut this piece. You can use side cutters for this, because we're going to file a taper on the end once again. Tidy it up with a sanding stick. And then, same thing. Now don't worry about lining this spiral up on the end, because we can just twist it once we're finished. So I have another 100 mil mark to work to here, so it's quite easy. Just make ourselves another nice even spiral. And then we're going to form this around a bracelet mandrel and use our planishing hammer to lightly planish the whole thing. Shift this in so you can see. So at the moment these spirals are opposite each other, which is fine because this will give us space that we can just wrap it around and put them right next to each other. So hold this on your bracelet mandrel and just pull the other end around. And then just do the rest with your fingers. Pull this around so that we get a nice shape. Now we're going to go back on the bracelet mandrel and use our planishing hammer to put some tension in this. So make sure your spirals are the way you want them. This one I'd pull back out a little bit so that it's a little more symmetrical. Now the planishing hammer is just a nice shiny hammer. That we're going to use to hammer against this piece. Now this can be anything. It can be a ball peen hammer that you've bought for $5 that you've sanded back and polished. It all works good. Just make sure that you have a nice surface, because whatever you hit this metal with, it's going to leave that impression. So we're just work your way around and do the whole thing, because this is what's going to give the bracelet tension. Now you can see that it opened up a bit and got kind of funny. It's no problem. You just bend it back with your fingers. Try it on and make sure that it's the way you want it. Now this will look weird on me, but so that's the idea. So now we know that this particular piece of jewelry takes 350 millimeters of wire. Easy.